Hi viewers, today I am going to take how to balance a chemical equation. So before we start balancing the equation, you have to keep one thing in mind, that when you're balancing equation, you should know the law of conservation of mass. So according to the law of conservation mass, that is energy can neither created or destroyed. That is, in case of a chemical reaction, you can see the number of atoms the number of atoms in the reactant side will be equal to the number of atoms in the product side. Or in other words, when we say the mass of the reactants will be always equal to the mass of the products. That is, so before a reaction, the mass will be equal to the mass after the reaction. So that is the reason why we mainly balance any chemical equation. So now in this case, before balancing, so let us first read out the compounds here. Now first, this is HNO3, that is nitric acid, plus reacts with calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice. Now you can see this 2 here. I hope you would have learned how to write the molecular formula. If not, I will be taking that in the next class. Now this 2 is actually the valency of calcium, and hydroxide has a valency of 1. So that is why we have the 2 crisscross. We have the 2 here. So CaOH twice, calcium hydroxide. Similarly here, calcium nitrate. So when nitric acid reacts with calcium hydroxide, it gives calcium nitrate and water. Now here in this case, if you see, let us first see whether the reactants and the products are balanced. That is, the elements in the reactant side and the product side are balanced. So for that, let us first write down the element's name on the left hand side as well as the right hand side, and also the number of atoms. So first we have here the hydrogen. So we will write hydrogen. Then next we have, now we need to take this separately. So this is NO3 is nitrate, but we have to take nitrogen separately and oxygen separately. So we have nitrogen here and oxygen. So hydrogen is done, nitrogen is done, and oxygen, and here we have one more element, that is calcium. So Ca. Now here in this case, we need to write the number of atoms on the left hand side as well as on the right hand side. So let us first begin from the reactant side. So here the number of hydrogen is 1. Now this is when you talk about the left hand side and right hand side, the left hand side we take as a reactants and the right hand side will be the product. So this is the LHS reactant side and this is the RHS. So we are going to write the number of atoms of each element. So hydrogen, here we have 1 plus 2. That is 1 plus 2 equal 3. So here this 2 is applicable for hydrogen as well as for oxygen. So that is why I have written 3 here. Next is nitrogen. Nitrogen, here we have only 1. That is, the number of atoms of nitrogen is 1. So let us write 1. The next is we have oxygen. We have here oxygen. The number of nitric acid we have oxygen, as well as in hydroxide also we have oxygen. So let us count how many oxygens do we have here. So here we have 3 atoms. So 3, let us write 3, plus here we have 2, that is number of atoms of oxygen is 2. So this is applicable for both. So here this 3 plus this 2. So 3 plus 2 equal, so 3 plus 2 equal 5. Now next let us take the case of calcium. So calcium, here we have only 1. So that is 1. Now next let us write the number of atoms in the product side. Now these are the products. So let us first begin with hydrogen. Here we have hydrogen, that is the number of atoms of hydrogen is 2. So let us write 2 here. And now next is we have, that is nitrogen. Nitrogen here again 2. So let us write 2. The next oxygen, here we have oxygen, that is this 2 is applicable to oxygen, so 3. Now when you have here twice, this is NO3 twice, so here we cannot add these two, we need to multiply. So 3 into 2, that is 6. 6 plus 1, we have 1. So 6 plus 1 equal 7. Now next is we have calcium. Now here also the calcium, number of atoms of calcium is 1. So when you're doing this, it's better you do with a pencil, so that because when you need to change the number, you can keep erasing and changing. So here now we have, let us take, now here when you see, now what we have to do is, here first we need to find the difference. That is the easy way. And when you find the difference, you get a number here. So if you have to ensure that the equation is balanced, we need to get 0 in all these elements. So let us first take the least one. Now here we have hydrogen, we have 3. Now so 2 minus, that is 3 minus 2, that is the difference is 1. Now here we have nitrogen. Nitrogen here in this case it is 1 and 2. So 2 minus 1, that is again 1. Now in this case of oxygen it is 7 minus 5, that is 2. And here calcium, that is 1 minus 1, 0. Now in this case here the calcium is balanced as for now. So let us take first nitrogen. Now it is always better to take the lower ones than directly taking the higher numbers. So let us start with nitrogen. Now nitrogen, in case of left hand side, that is the reactant side, it has only number of atoms 1, but here it has 2. So what we will do is, we need to multiply this 1 with 2. Why are we doing this? It's in order to get 2, so that both are balanced. So where will we put this 2? So let us put this 2 here as a coefficient, that is 2. We should not, please make sure that we don't put the number here or here or here. Always it has to be put as a coefficient of this whole compound. Okay, so the 2. Now when I put 2 here, this 2 applies to hydrogen, nitrogen as well as oxygen. Now here nitrogen is now 2. Now let us see here. Now when I put 2 here, now here we have hydrogen, that is now hydrogen, it has become 2, right? So 2, so here when we do this, so we have to change this 2 here. So 2 plus 2, so what is 2 plus 2? Equal 4, right? Now here again the number has changed. So why have I put this 2? Because when I put 2, in order to balance nitrogen, the number of atoms of hydrogen has again changed. Because in the beginning it was only 1. So now since I have put 2 here, that applies to hydrogen also. So 2 plus 2 now equal 4. Now here what has happened? Now this is 4 and this is 2. Right, now I need to balance here. So now in order to balance this, now what will I do to get 4? I multiply this with 2. So 2 into 2 equal 4. Now where will I put this 2? Now I put this 2 in front of hydrogen in the product side. Right. So now 2 into 2, 4. So here I have now 4 hydrogen. And here I have 2 plus 2, that is equal to 4. So 4 minus 4, 0. Now the hydrogen is balanced, right? Now, in the case of nitrogen, again 2 minus 2. Now, nitrogen, here it is 2 and here it is 2. So, 2 minus 2, again 0, balanced. Now, this is balanced, this is balanced. Calcium is also balanced. Now, lastly, let us check oxygen. Now, oxygen, now here how much? Now, since I have put this 2 in order to balance nitrogen, the number of atoms of oxygen is also changed. Now, how many atoms has oxygen got now? That's 3 into 2, that is 6, right? So, the oxygen is, now what has oxygen in the reactant side is 6. That's 2 into 3, that is 6. 6 plus, what is this? 2. So 6 plus 2 equal 8. Now here again, this is 3 into 2, 6. Oxygen, 3 into 2, 6. 6 plus this 2 applies to oxygen also. So 6 plus 2 equal 8. So now 8 and 8. So 8 minus 8 equal 0. I hope you have understood this part, because when I put 2 to balance nitrogen, that has changed the number of atoms of hydrogen as well as oxygen. So that is how oxygen has got 6 here. So 6 plus this 2 applies to oxygen. So 6 plus 2 equal 8. Now in this case also 3 into 2, 6. 6 plus this 2 atoms of oxygen, because this 2 applies to oxygen also. So 6 plus 2 equal 8. So 8 minus 8, 0. Now oxygen is also balanced. So before that, let us see here once again. So hydrogen here 2 and here it is 2. Nitrogen 2, hydrogen here 2 plus 2 equal 4, and here 2 into 2, that is 4. Next nitrogen, let us check, that is 2 here nitrogen, and this 2 is for applicable for this nitrogen 2, that is also balanced. Oxygen 3 into 2, 6. 6 plus this 2 applies to oxygen, so 6 plus 2, 8. And the product side here 6 plus 2, that is 8. Calcium 1 and 1, so it is balanced. So this is how we balance a chemical equation. This is actually a quite a bigger equation. Now I am sure that you would have had practice of the simpler ones, so that is why I have taken this equation for you to solve. So in my next video I will be working on more equations, and till then, bye.